Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick tutorial. I promised one more Synfig tutorial here, and this is going to have to do with outputting. It doesn't look like a ton of people are doing these. Who knows? Others might be handed in later tonight. But again, these are optional, a sort of transition between the end of the semester and potentially animating post this class. I've been poking around online, trying to think of a few things that might be worthwhile or interesting in terms of using this program. I think knowing Flash, you can sort of come into it and play with it enough to the point where you can get something done with your basic knowledge of Flash. One thing that isn't horribly intuitive has to do with the outputting methods. When we export in Flash, we create SWIFTs, and those, generally speaking, are the files in which we exchange, upload, view, etc. Synfig works a little bit differently, and I want to sort of show you what or how that works. First and foremost, I have a very simple animation here, sort of a green ball going around the stage. You'll see, as we sort of talked about last week, I have two layers. The circle is the animated element, and the red's rectangle is just sort of the background. Now, this saved a file last week, and you guys handed in, or you potentially handed in, their Synfig Studio file. What we want to do, and if you were to sort of create animation in Synfig post this class and wanted to upload it to YouTube or do something, is you need to get a video file. Now, this is simply called something called a render. Now, I'm going to sort of go here, and if you remember, we can go to File, we can go what's called the caret menu, or we can go up here to the main menu, and we need to go to render. Now, this is different than Flash in the sense that we can sort of type in or use what's called auto in order to get the file type that we want. Now, again, we are sort of looking for a main video file or something that's a little more universal. There's a lot of choices underneath here. A lot of these aren't horribly good choices, to be honest. You can get a GIF, you can get PNGs, but basically what those would be sort of a series of images that get exported to a folder, one image per frame. If you've got a 20-second movie, that's pretty extensive, and that's not in the very it's not very 2015, shall we say. Video used to be shown like that, a series of still images, but we have more standalone singular files these days. Now you can see already that I have typed in this AVI. You can play around with this depending on your operating system that you're using, whether it's a Mac or a PC, and you can sort of choose this FFmpeg if you want to type in, and you literally type in the file that you're going to do, MPG or MPEG, or in this case, because I've already tested it, we can type in AVI. This is a video file, very common video file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually choose the desktop. Okay. And I'm basically exporting this simple animation that I've done as an AVI. You have some choices here in terms of quality. So I'm going to bump the quality up to the highest. Anti-aliasing has to do with smoothing the edges of something. We can bump that up a little bit. And you can change some things like frames per second, 24. You can change the actual size of it, and these are all sort of basically saying you're going from one thing, your Synfig file, to another thing. Okay, and what is it that you want to sort of take with you in terms of size, in terms of how long this thing is, and a couple other choices here, image width, pixel height, things like that, which you're probably not going to deal with. So once you have this stuff sort of set, we can simply hit render, and I'm going to talk about this idea of render here in a second. Rendering is a very sort of classic video term. If you've done any editing in video, when you sort of make any changes, you have to do what's called render. It's much more common in 3D animation, where you sort of set something up, particularly keyframes, and then you ask the computer to sort of make up the in-between. Flash does that sort of automatically for us. In this case, we have to sort of hit this render. Now you can't see off to my desktop, but I'll kind of bring it, well, let's see here, make this a little bit smaller. Over here, my synfig.avi has sort of exported to my desktop, so I'm going to double click on it, and I get a little movie. You can see, depending on the quality, you get some what's called artifacts, but I have a more standalone image that in this case, because it's a Mac, it's going to play on QuickTime. So that's how you get a video file. And this is something, again, if you want to play with Flash or if you want to play with Synfig post this class, you might not want to pay for Flash, so hence these little exercises. I can't reiterate enough, these Synfig exercises, there's going to be 2 of them, this is the second one, are optional. I see a few of you have done them. They only can help you, they can't hurt you, because if you don't do them, they're not going to count against you. However, if you do them, you'll sort of up your final tally in terms of the exercises. So that's it for this. Again, good luck with your final projects. You're going to want to, and just to back up on this, just export that to a video file, whether it's AVI or MPG or MPEG. That's what I'm looking for in terms of getting a standalone video file for this exercise.